In a world of nonsense and no sense, we turn for sense to a 13-year-old.
As we should.
David Clauss, live from Jacksonville. What's the temperature in Jacksonville this morning, David?
I think it's somewhere around 50 degrees.
Ooh, that's cold.
Ask me what the temperature is in Aurora, just outside of Chicago.
-5.
-9.
Ooh, he's close.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah.
You get 50 degrees. We have -9. You owe us some degrees, pal.
We know how much you like math.
I'd rather be there because then I don't have to go to school.
Oh,
Well, hey, you're
fair
right.
point.
No, e-learning. You'd have
Fair
to stay
point.
at home and learn on your screen. David, we know you love math, so you'll have to do -9 minus 50.
I think he likes math fine as long as it's statistics on football. He just doesn't like algebra.
This is true. Is
that true?
Yeah, it is true.
All right, pal. Big questions from the weekend. Packers beat the Cowboys. Is Mike McCarthy going to get fired in Dallas?
I don't think so. He's been pretty consistent for them. He's gotten them to the playoffs like the last 3 seasons. So I think any other team would take that. But I think that's a sign for them to keep him because not a lot of other teams have a coach like that.
Well, that'd be good, but Jerry Jones is crazy.
Yeah, what do you
The
think
guy
of Jerry Jones?
Guy that owns the Cowboys.
He is crazy.
Yeah, so if Jerry Jones is crazy and Bill Belichick's available, do you hire Bill Belichick?
I think Belichick is going to go to the Falcons. I think
You really do.
fit for him.
You think that's a good fit? Why do you think?
Well, because the Falcons, they definitely didn't have a great coach. They have some good players, and they could have gone on a run this season, but the coach kind of held them back, and I think Belichick's a good coach.
Now, if Belichick goes to Atlanta, the guys that own Atlanta start at Home Depot. Does he get a discount?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, that'd be part of the
That's
negotiations.
the perks. Those are the perks you get.
Here's the thing, David. Belichick is 72 years old, and I don't think – I mean, look, you get to be 72, you go, oh, how much longer am I going to be around? And I'm not just talking about football.
You're not talking on the side of your mouth either.
Right. So wouldn't he want to go to a team with an established quarterback and an established chance to win like the Cowboys?
Well, they already have, I think, a good coach. Now, I know the owner may be, like, freaking out right now and trying to get him out of there. But in my opinion, I think the coach there is fine, and he's already experienced with the Cowboys players, so he can continue getting them to the playoffs, and next year going farther in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think Belichick should go to the Falcons because the coach there, it was a total collapse because of the coach. And that is the number one spot that needs to fill.
Well, listen, if you say it, I think it ought to happen. But speaking of collapses, before we get to what happened this weekend, what's with the Eagles? How did the Eagles go 10-1 and then 1-6? What happened?
It's kind of a weird.
It's a mystery.
Probably the weirdest story of the NFL season.
I think so.
They started off 10-1 and then they just fell off from there. And I think it's just because they're trying to do too much. I think their quarterback is trying to force stuff, and they're trying to make something happen when it's not there. And then there's interceptions, there's fumbles, there's turnovers. And it just keeps going downhill, and that's what happens.
Tigers and Bears, oh my! So the Bucs won. Good for the Bucs, man. They routed the Eagles.
I can't believe it.
Sets up this weekend, Jane.
Well, first, I want to talk about Detroit because first of all, I love that they added the word "super" in front of Wild Card Weekend. It just makes everything that much more exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, Super Wild Card Weekend. Okay. Detroit going to the advance in the playoffs. The first one in the playoffs for 32 years. Grown men in the crowd crying tears of joy because they get to move on. David, did you cry for the Detroit Lion fans?
I did not cry, but it was pretty emotional for them. And I thought it was a little too close, the win over the Rams, for me.
24-23.
I really thought they would have, I thought they would have pulled away there, but a win is a win, and they're moving on.
Win is a win.
All right, Bucs-Lions.
Yeah.
That should not be a close game either, but the Bucs looked pretty good last night. I'm one of the people that I don't hate Mayfield. I think Mayfield's a good quarterback if he doesn't make stupid decisions. I think he's got a lot of talent. Bucs-Lions. Bucs compete in that, or is it a Lions blowout?
I think the Bucs compete a little bit, but I have Detroit winning 21-17. or 27-21.
27.
It's a close game.
21. First game of the weekend is Texans-Ravens. You got this young quarterback in Houston who's great. Baltimore's been on a roll. They look really, really good. Texans-Ravens in Baltimore early Saturday. Who's got it?
I'm going to have to go with the Ravens. I just don't think the young team in Houston could come into Baltimore and beat the number 1 seed at home. I think Lamar's rested. He's ready to go, and I think they win 31-20.
That's C.J. Stroud, though. You never know. He could shock us all.
I think C.J. Stroud's young enough for you to say, we'll take you to Dairy Queen before the game. You could just distract him.
I think C.J. Stroud's going to have practice in David's front yard this afternoon.
David, I made an offer to the Packers over the weekend. I said, if you give us Jordan Love, we'll give you Justin Fields, Taylor Swift tickets, and we'll send someone there to make an artist sculpture of a cheese curd. So far, they've not called me back. Packers look really good. I'd argue the Packers are the hottest team in football. Can they compete with the 49ers?
I think they can compete a little bit, but again, I think it's a 7 seed going into number 1 seed's house. San Francisco just has too many good players. And I know Green Bay just beat up the number 2 Cowboys team, but I don't see them going any further. I have San Francisco winning, unfortunately, 33-24.
33-24.
Unfortunately, I like
a
that.
Packers loss is not sad for us here.
Yeah.
And finally, the game of the weekend is the early game, actually, on Sunday. That'll make that the primetime game. It's the Chiefs and the Bills. Round 3. This is Ali Frazier. Round 3, for you old enough to remember what that reference is. Bills are great yesterday. Great. They could be arguably the hottest team in football. I think the Bills beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too. I think the Bills are going to beat them. It might be a close game. Chiefs players are definitely stepping up. The rookie, Rashee Rice, definitely stepped up in their win over the Dolphins. So that's something the Bills have to be concerned about. But Bills players stepped up, too. You saw their rookie tight end. He stepped up. He made a few big plays. And I think Bills are going to win 28-24.
Sounds like a good game to me. Joey's in for Michael. You got a question for David?
Yeah, David, have you heard about the Super Bowl logo conspiracy?
What's that? I don't know about this.
It's like the colors affiliated with which teams are going to be in.
Right.
Yeah, I have heard.
Do you agree with it, or you
Wait,
think it's all just
explain to
coincidence?
everybody. What is it, Joey?
So the deal is, the past few years, the Super Bowl logo has the 2 colors of the teams in the Super Bowl, and they've been right every single time.
Oh, so you're saying the fix is in. So what colors are in the logo?
Red and purple, supposedly the 49ers and Baltimore. And the bottom color on the logo has won the past few years. So according to this conspiracy, Baltimore is taking the Super Bowl this year.
Joey? David?
David,
Come on.
thoughts on that?
I don't know. 2 number 1 seeds. That'd be a fun Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong about
I
that.
kind of really want the Bills to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, same here. Come on.
Yeah, I would like the Bills to go, though.
Sorry, guys, not in the logo.
Bills 49ers. That's where it's stepping up there, looking like it's going to end up being. But
By the way, Mahomes' first time traveling in the playoffs ever, so maybe that
I hope
rattles.
he's okay. I hope his mom gives him money. Listen, David, fabulous information as always. What's on the agenda for school today, or are you still off?
I think today I do have algebra, so you have to suck it up.
Aren't you developing a cough?
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to think up something. Too.
No. You get in there and you nail it, man. You can do this.
All right, I will.
All right, buddy.
Aw,
Talk to you
thanks,
later.
David.
David Clauss,
The best.
America's football expert.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I like the insight, too.
Fox closed that deal with him? They were going to get rid of Bradshaw and Howie Long and all those guys and bring in David?
I think it was going alongside
No.
with those guys. So they're like, here's the coach, here's so-and-so.
So when Jimmy Johnson and Terry doze off, David could
just
slap
takes
them
right
and
in.
just
Yep.
take over. Yeah.